Good morning and welcome back to Planet Doug in the city of Medan, North Sumatra. This might be kind of an old school Planet Doug video because I'm not going to any kind of a Medan attraction, anything like that. In fact, I'm going back to the train station to hopefully book and pay for a train ticket. I'll explain about that a bit more in a minute. But yeah, I'm just running an errand, so I thought I'd bring my camera along and just chat about whatever's on my mind, and maybe we'll come across a few interesting things along the way. But as I said, I have no plans to go to a museum or a historical site or anything like that. I'm just out here doing some travel planning. Now, first thing as always, these intersections, man. I often don't go in this direction when I leave my hotel just because these intersections befuddle me. But I think I can cross here. All right, there go those people. But it takes a big effort if I want to go this way, depending on the time of day. Crossing these intersections, mental and physical effort sometimes. And to get to the train station, I'm going to at least start by going down a new street. Every time I walk this way, there's one street here where it's a very narrow one, but there seems to be a ton of traffic coming out of it. But I've never actually turned right up ahead to follow this street, so that's what I'm going to do. And the street I'm talking about is this one. You can see that white panel truck just came around the corner. There should be somebody right behind him. Yeah, normal sidewalk, right? Pedestrians are an afterthought. You got to walk out into traffic to get around these things. But yeah, this street seems to be used as kind of a shortcut for a lot of traffic. They come from somewhere down there, and then they zoom along this narrow alleyway, and then turn right here. It's not that busy right now. Most days that I've been here, it's just been filled with traffic. But anyway, it seems to be a convenient shortcut through the city, very popular with a lot of drivers. And I've never gone down here before, so I don't know what this street is all about. I often have the same reaction to these big cities in Asia. Just the number of stores that exist. For whatever reason, there's a lot of handbag shops. I passed. I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I've passed all kinds of handbag shops. There's two more right here. And sporting goods stores. A lot of those as well. Just like this one. Some hardware shops. I mean, just solid little shops on both sides of the road. There's a shop dedicated entirely to calculators. You know, there's another mini neighborhood hardware store. And I'm just always astonished at the amount of shopping that goes on. It just feels like people in this part of the world shop more than we do, you know, in a country like Canada. That's probably not true at all, but it just feels like it. I mean, look at this. You look down this street, it's nothing but, I mean, I'm in a busy commercial district. I'm not in a residential area, but, and then here, I mean, the trucks, right? The entire street is jammed with trucks, busy loading and unloading. This guy's unloading fencing, rolls of fencing, another guy there with cement. Yeah, the area. It just goes on and on. Pick any street in Medan, and this is what you're going to find. And this is not even including, the huge markets that are everywhere. And it's not like these shops are sitting empty, yearning for customers. Look at this place. It's like a bazaar, right? Just shipments coming in, shipments going out, wheeling and dealing, delivery guys, delivery vehicles. Just goes on and on. And that's an impression I always have of these big cities. Hello. YouTuber. Yeah, YouTuber. I can show you. That's it. You can have it.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, Planet Doug.
I will follow you.
Okay. Yeah.
Planet Doug.
Planet Doug.
Where do you come from, sir?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, Canada. Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah, my home is in Ontario.
Oh.
Ah. So what are you doing this morning in this neighborhood?
Oh, I pick my wife.
Okay.
Working at here.
She works there.
She here and go to home.
Oh, back home. I thought maybe you worked in one of these stores. You don't have a job here in this area?
I have a job nearby my home.
Okay.
A salesman.
Salesman
phone.
there. Oh, for phones. Cool.
Like, Apple, Samsung. And then the day is I off day.
Oh, day off.
Every day.
All right, cool.
Before you come to Lake Toba?
I've been to Lake Toba. Yeah. I spent a long time at Lake Toba, but on a different trip. I came to Sumatra many times.
How about that?
I went to Bali, but a long time ago. I went to Bali maybe 30 years ago, and a long time ago. And I don't really want to go back. Today, Bali is too developed, too many fancy hotels and resorts and restaurants. I like a place like Medan.
Yeah, Medan.
Yeah.
And then I think you come to Istana Maimun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Raya. Where is this? I think it's not so far, but
No.
so far.
No, not far. I walk everywhere. I'm always walking. Yeah. All right. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Andre, sir.
Andres?
Andre.
Andre.
You have Instagram? I love like the video like you, sir.
Oh, yeah?
I know Philip Dale.
Yeah.
Philip Dale. I always see watching his video.
Yeah, he's famous. Very popular.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
He is very funny.
Unfortunately, I'm not funny. I'm a very serious person, so. Before I talk about the train station, maybe I'll go off on a typical Planet Doug rant here, or a Planet Doug tangent, because while I was walking along here, a man on a motorcycle, a scooter, he stopped to talk with me, and he saw my camera, and he says he's interested in making videos for YouTube, and he knows all about Philip Dale, and so he was asking me a few questions and about my YouTube channel, things like that. But the whole time that I was talking to him, I was acutely aware that my Rode Wireless Go microphone, which is here, underneath my shirt, is recording my voice, but it doesn't record his. And that's a big problem with using one of these wireless mic systems, whether it's the Rode or... Hello?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Like DJI Mic 2, the new one they just released, very good mic. But it also is a lavalier mic, it's designed to record the person wearing the mic. But even if the other person is 5 feet away, 3 feet away, it won't record their voice. So that's a major flaw if you want to record these random encounters you have with people. Oh, look at this. I think this is Chinese New Year related, keeping up with the theme of shopping. So it looks like all of these products, fruit, just the packaging and the coloring. It's clearly a Chinese New Year product. I better get out of the road here. But yeah, all the shopping. Very busy place there. And in this case, I'm really jealous of people that bought into the Sony X3000 system when it was brand new. You know, you got Baldwin Bankrupt, his partner in crime, Backpacker Ben, and there's another one that he often hangs out with, also uses the X3000. And from what I can tell, a big advantage of the X3000 is that the microphone was so good. And that was because, if I can go on and on in a typical Planet Doug way, it wasn't waterproof. So there was no attempt to make the X3000 waterproof. So the microphone could be just exposed. And for whatever reason, it's an exceptional microphone. It records, you know, when Bald uses it, that's all he has. He doesn't have an external mic. He doesn't have a shotgun mic. He doesn't have a wireless mic. He just holds onto his camera and lets it do its thing. And it just works as far as I can tell. Records his voice, records the sound, and records the people that he talks to. And I'm so jealous of that ability. I was chatting with a friend of mine, fellow YouTuber, about my long history with this, because I've invested countless hours in the search for microphones. And I began way at the beginning with, you know, I didn't know what I was doing, and everybody in the world of YouTube, they were all using a shotgun microphone. So I thought, okay, that's what you buy. So I bought a shotgun microphone, and I quickly found out that it doesn't work because it only records when you're pointing it at somebody. So, I mean, and then I tried a different mic. I tried a lavalier mic. I tried, hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah. I'm from Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Nice to meet you.
Maluku Utara.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. All right, heading that way. Have a good day. And there's another random encounter I just had, but I don't think I would have recorded any of their voices. Just getting across this street is an adventure. And then, of course, I've tried out the built-in mics, you know, the built-in mic on the GoPro, the microphone on the Media Mod. I have tried every single microphone that I could think of, and none of them has actually worked. And then every time I see one of these guys with the X3000, I'm so jealous, because it's like that microphone built into that camera just seems to do the job, and that's it. Anyway, bit of a Planet Doug tangent there, complaining about my, you know, I love the audio from the Rode Wireless Go, I really do. The way my voice sounds, but as I said, for talking to another person, it's useless. And if you want to record another person, well, you have to take a second Rode Wireless Go and put it on them. Then it works. But that you can't do that while you're just walking around like I'm doing right now. This is the road that goes down to the front of the train station. I'm almost there. It's a short distance ahead of me. So maybe now's a good time to go off on the train ticket tangent. So what's going on is that I'm going to Malaysia in the next few days, and I decided to go back by boat. So I changed my mind. I'm not flying back anymore. I've been making arrangements to go by ferry, which I didn't realize this until quite recently, but the ferry service from Tanjung Balai to Port Dickson is operational now. The same company that I've used in the past, Indomal Fast Ferry, they're now operating a service out of Tanjung Balai, which is a coastal fishing town not far from Medan. And of course, flying, as everyone has told me, everyone I talk to about my plans to take the boat, they think it's the dumbest idea they've ever heard, because flying would be so easy. 1 hour to get out to the airport here in Medan, 1 hour to fly to KL, and I'm there, no problem. Taking the ferry, of course, much more complicated, much longer, and yet that's the way I want to go. It's just more fun. Why not? So anyway, in order to get to Tanjung Balai, I can take a bus, but yeah, I can also take a train. So the idea is to take a train 2 days from now. Hello. From Medan to Tanjung Balai, and then take the ferry from Tanjung Balai. But I'm having all of my usual Planet Doug experiences, because the last time I tried to buy a train ticket, I couldn't really get one, because I went there to buy a ticket and they says, no, you can't buy a ticket in advance. You have to buy a ticket, the day you go, or maybe 1 day in advance, but 2 days in advance, they won't sell you the ticket. You have to buy them online. So for this ticket, I tried to buy it online. I did everything I could. I spent, oh man, I don't know how long I've been on the internet. I don't know how other people do it, but I couldn't do it. Every single website I tried, official government train station portals, ticket, every single one, either there are no train tickets. People told me, I use Traveloka to book all my train tickets. I went to Traveloka, they don't sell train tickets. So I don't know what they're talking about. And other ones, 1-2-Go Asia, I've used it in the past. But yeah, they don't sell train tickets from Indonesia, so that was a dead end. I tried the official Indonesian, train site, website, ticket buying system. That just crashes over and over again. I couldn't get through. I don't know. Everybody says, just buy your tickets online. Everybody buys tickets online. But I can't figure out how to do it. So here I am, walking to the train station once again. And they may tell me, okay, you can't buy a ticket today. I have to wait until the day of my trip or something. But I'm hoping that this trip is different, because when I did this before, I was trying to go to a place called Siantar, and that was some sort of a local train. And they said for that type of train, you can't buy a ticket in advance. I think this train is more long distance, and it falls in a different category. So I'm hoping I can figure something out. All right, here we go. Deep breath, heading into the bowels of the train station. Looks like a train just arrived. A lot of people. And the last time I came here, I was able to talk to the woman at customer service, and that worked out pretty well. So that's what I'm going to do this time. Just going to go straight to the customer service counter and see if she can help me out. I think I know what train I want. I have a choice between a 7 a.m. train and a later train, and I think I'm going to go for the 7 a.m. one. So here is the familiar board, and luckily this time my train is here. It's listed. It's this one here, U72. They call the name Putri Delhi, but it goes from Medan to Tanjung Balai, and there's my train, 7:10 in the morning. But I think there's another one there at 1:50, and that gets in at 6:15, and I don't really want to arrive that late, so I'm going to try and get a ticket for that one up there.
Sorry, what can I help you?
Well, I would like to buy a ticket for this train to Tanjung Balai
To Tanjung Balai,
this Saturday.
Today?
No, Saturday.
Saturday, on 3 February.
Yes.
So let me help you to use my application, and you can pay the ticket from Indomaret.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I think I know how to do that.
Can I see your passport?
Mhm.
You can choose your seat from economy 1 until economy 5.
Okay. Just a window seat, I guess.
Window seat.
There's like 2 on one side, and so there's in this side there's 3 seats,
3 seats
and then 2.
And 2 seats.
So I guess like a window seat on
Window
this
seat.
side.
Is it okay?
I think so. Doesn't matter which car, right?
Okay.
They're all.
The total is 27 rupiah. You can pay the ticket from Indomaret.
Okay.
Okay. Just take a picture for the payment code.
Okay. I'm still here in the train station, and I'm waiting for the customer service window to be open again, so maybe I can tell the next part of the story. It's really funny. I came here with the idea that maybe the train to Tanjung Balai would be different from the train to Siantar, because the train to Siantar, I couldn't buy a ticket in person until the day before the train left. So I thought maybe this train would be easier, but it turns out this train is different, but it's different in the other direction. It's actually more difficult in that you can only buy a ticket in person 3 hours before the train. So not even the day before. You only 3 hours before the train leaves, then they will sell you a ticket. Actually, the customer service window is open again, so I'll finish up the story in a second. Success?
Yeah. Okay.
I like your microphone system. I can hear you very clearly.
Thank you, sir. This is your ticket, sir.
Okay.
Ini. This is from Medan to Tanjung Balai at 3rd February on 10:07.
Okay,
And
cool.
this is your seat on economy 4 on 16E.
16E. All right, that's
Is
amazing.
it clear?
Very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, rest of the story, it's all done now. I have my train ticket. So as I was saying, the train to Tanjung Balai is different, but it's different in a worse way in that you can only buy a ticket 3 hours before train departure. So I was chatting with the woman there, very helpful. I think I freaked her out because I was sharing so much of my experiences and opinions about things. And she's sort of looking at me, why are you talking so much? But it's just my habit. I like to involve other people in what I'm doing, which I guess is why I make YouTube videos. And so yeah, she said, oh, well, you can buy a ticket in advance, but you have to do it through the app. And then I explained to her that I've tried all kinds of different things, all kinds of apps, and none of them would work. They either would crash or they have no train listings. Anyway, I couldn't figure it out. And then she said, oh, it turns out that they have an actual app for the Indonesian train system. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. I mean, when I was here before trying to buy the ticket to go to Siantar, and they were telling me about, just buy it online, nobody told me about the app. And they even have a big sign right on the window. I look up above me and there's a big banner there saying, download our convenient app. And they give the name of the app and the logo, find it on Google Play Store, download our app, and you can do everything through our app. And I was like, well, first thing I thought of was, oh, why didn't the woman before tell me about this magical app? Because I came here and asked a lot of questions, and it was a big, long, involved interaction, but nobody said, oh, we have an app. We have our own app. Just download it. That never came up. So I just didn't know about it. So there I was sitting in front of her at customer service, and then she was going to help me download the app. And the customer service rep, she actually offered to pay for it through her bank account, and then I would reimburse her in cash. But then I said to her, it's like, no, I can't ask you to do that. That's too much. And to be honest, I didn't even see how it would work. But then she says, okay, just to take customer service to the next level, she said, well, I have the app on my phone. I will buy you a ticket. I'll put your name into my app. I will buy the ticket for you. So she bought me the ticket through her app, but put my name on the ticket, gave me a receipt with a code. I had to bring that code to Indomaret. No, that was even more complicated because I didn't get a receipt. Everything was on her phone, right? Because she did it on her app. So now all of the codes were just on her phone, and I don't have her phone. So I had to take a picture of the screen of her phone containing the codes. And then I brought my phone to an Indomaret, showed them the photograph of somebody else's phone, and then they took the codes from that. I paid them in cash. They gave me a receipt saying I had paid. Then I went back to the train station, went back to the customer service counter, gave her the receipt from Indomaret. She put that into the system and finally printed out a ticket. Well, I might go to a shopping mall and look for a local Starbucks, because people have been telling me about all the modern shopping malls here, and I feel bad that I haven't gone to one of them at least to take a look at them. And I think the Center Point Mall is right beside the train station, and there's a Starbucks there. And since I successfully got a ticket, I thought I might reward myself with a cup of coffee at a local Starbucks and just see what an Indonesian Starbucks is like at Center Point Mall. Well, maybe Center Point isn't as new as I thought, because I think that's it right there, where it says Metro on the building. I think that might be part of Center Point, or maybe the newer portion is on the other side. But yeah, here's the train station, and then Center Point Mall, I think, is this building right here. Center Point is also on my mind because I was watching videos from a Canadian travel YouTuber based in Thailand. The channel is called Side Trip Life, and he came to Medan maybe a year ago, and I watched some of his videos. But he came by train from the airport just like I did, came to this train station, but he reserved a room at a hotel in Center Point Mall. So he basically just had to go from the train station, cross the street, and he was at his hotel. Much smarter than I am, right? But yeah, a lot more convenient, easy to get to. So, center point. And I think the Starbucks is on this side. Like, yeah, right there. I'm actually on the right side of the mall to go to Starbucks. Ah, interesting. I wonder if it has indoor air-conditioned seating. Let's figure this out. The train ticket, by the way, going from Medan to Tanjung Balai, it's about a 4-hour trip by train to get there. And the train ticket was 27,000 rupiah. It's $1.70 US, which, yeah, very inexpensive. The hard part was getting the ticket for me. Paying for it, not quite as painful. So yeah, here we are. Center Point Mall. So maybe it isn't one of the newer, super, really fancy ones. I'm not sure. Yeah, this whole facade looks like it's seen some weathering, you know? Seen some weather. It's all decked out with Chinese New Year decorations on the outside. And there's Starbucks. That is so weird. Like normally anything I'm looking for will always be as far away as possible. So I just assumed it would be impossible to find the Starbucks and I'd be walking for 3 kilometers inside the mall just to find it. All right, I'm in the mall. I'm not gonna do a tour of the mall and show everything there is here on video. There's no point doing that. It's a modern shopping mall. It has all the things you would expect to find. All the stores you would think were here, they're probably here. But it does look very nice, kind of luxurious, many floors. And they have some nice, yeah, Chinese New Year decorations on the inside as well. Right here. Oh, so hot and so tired. Ay, ay, ay. The way I do things, yeah, everything, I managed to turn everything into an epic expedition. Oh boy. Flavor is there. I'm getting the coffee flavor. There's a lot of foam on top. So I haven't gotten down to the coffee itself, because that's the key. Is it hot? It is okay. I think for the world in general, this would be a fine cup of coffee. People would go, Starbucks, this is good. But this is not, doesn't seem up to the standards of the Starbucks in KL. Not really. It's good though. I'm glad I came here. And it was 53,000 rupiah. Time to check out the fruits of my labor. This is my boarding pass. Make sure, I checked it when I was at the train station. The very helpful customer service woman, when she gave it to me, she actually went over all the details just to confirm everything with me. And it does have my passport number on it, but just a partial passport number, not the full number. And leaving from Medan this Saturday, today's Thursday by the way, and leaves at 7 in the morning and arrives in Tanjung Balai at 11:30. And perhaps by the time, 7 a.m. Saturday morning rolls around, I'll wish I had taken the afternoon train, but I'm still concerned about the ferry, because taking a ferry country to country is not the same as taking a plane, like going to an airport. You can kind of count on planes. I mean, flights do get canceled, but not that often. But who knows, with boats, you're taking a ferry. It's a bit unusual. Something could go wrong. The boat doesn't go that day, or you aren't allowed because you're a foreigner to board the boat. There's an immigration problem. You just don't know. So I'm a little bit worried about this, but that's part of the adventure, part of why I wanted to go this route. But I figured if I get to Tanjung Balai before noon, and now I can go straight to the offices of the ferry company, pay for my ticket, and then confirm everything, get that all out of the way. Because if I arrive at, 6 o'clock, their offices will be closed, and who knows whether they'll be open on Sunday, right? So arriving earlier is better than arriving later. So, leaving Center Point, really nice cup of coffee. It was nice to sit there in air-conditioned comfort for a change. I haven't been around air conditioning like that for quite a while. And I sat there long enough till I finally cooled down. And while I was sitting there, I thought, well, the customer service rep at the train station, she did download the app to my phone. And it finished downloading. It took a while for it to finish, but it did. So I thought, while I'm having my coffee, why don't I just play around with it just to see how it works? Like if I had used this app from the beginning, what would it have been like? So I went through the entire process. I don't need to because I already have a train ticket, but I set up the entire account. And I mean, that was pretty much exactly how you'd expect, in that everything went wrong. There were so many barriers, so many problems that I had to overcome. And then I go through all of the stages, all of the steps. And they're the normal steps that you'd expect. You have to sign up with your email address, and you have to create a password, all of that sort of thing. And then they send a security code to your email address. So then you take the code from your email and enter that. And then they need your phone number. So you have to have an Indonesian SIM card and a valid Indonesian phone number, or else you're stuck right from the very beginning. You can't make any progress at all. So then you put in your phone number, but then they have to verify your account by sending you a text message, an SMS. So I'm on that screen, and I hit the button that says, send me the code via SMS, and nothing happened. I hit the button. There was no response. So I waited, nothing. So I hit it again. Nothing happened, so I waited and I waited, nothing happened. So I hit it a third time. Again, there was no response. It was like a long, thin button with an arrow on one side and then words on the other. So I'm hitting it on the arrow, then I'm hitting it on the words. I'm hitting the button on various places to get it to react. And nothing happened. I'm waiting, and then suddenly I get a big red error message that says, oh, you've made too many attempts. We have blocked your account, and we have frozen your account. Please try again later. So I was locked out of the account before I'd even set it up because I hit the SMS code button too many times. But the only reason I hit it more than once was because it wasn't responding. And then, so I'm sitting there waiting and waiting for it to be unfrozen. And while I'm waiting, I got 4 separate SMS messages, like 4 separate security codes. Boop, 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 suddenly started showing up, on my phone. And then, anyway, I waited until my account wasn't frozen anymore. So then I went back into it and I started the whole process all over again. But this time when I hit the button, the SMS code button, it triggered it. And I went to a new screen that was asking for the code, and I got the code, and then I put it in. So I got through that stage, but then I went through like 5 more barriers. I'm back at the train station again. It's right beside the mall, but there is the train station. A bunch of people are boarding the train. This one is probably going to Siantar or Tanjung Balai or somewhere like that. Anyway, so I figured all that out, and I went through the system. What I decided to do was see, could I book a train ticket on this app, Just I wanted to go through the steps and see if I could do it. Oh, there's the airport express train. So that's the train that goes back and forth to the airport. It rides on that elevated track up there. But as I was trying to actually select the train, select the ticket, and actually go through the steps, I kept getting error messages. But the weird thing is, well, first of all, the error message is in Indonesian, so I can't read it, and it only flashes on the screen really quickly. So I get this big red bar, like I hit enter, and then I get this red bar, error, with some words, but it goes by so fast I can't read it. So, and it doesn't freeze on the screen, so I can't use Google Translate to read the screen because there's nothing there to read. It flashes and disappears so quickly. So there's something wrong with my account, with my selection, with my information, and it tells me there's an error, but I don't know what the error is. So then I had to go back to using 2 phones again. So what I did was take phone number 2, turned on the camera, and I set the camera on like a 2-second delay, and then I hit the button on the camera phone, aiming it at my other phone, like waiting to time it just right. So I would hit the button to enter my train choice, and then I'm hoping that my phone number 2 will take a picture of phone number 1 in the split second that the error message appears on the screen. And I got it first try on the first one. It was amazing. You know, the timing was just perfect. So now I had a picture of the error message on phone number 2, but Google Translate is the one on phone number 2 that I'm using. So now I've got to go to phone number 1, exit from the train app, open up Google Translate on phone number 1, and then use Google Translate camera on the error message that is now on in my camera roll on phone number 2. And then I could figure out what the error messages mean. And they were really, really strange error messages. I thought the main one, it said, I couldn't get past it. I tried and tried and tried. It kept telling me that my information was incomplete, like my personal information, and yet I had created an account and it automatically populated all the screens. Name, passport number, date of birth, everything was there. It just populated everything. It kept saying my information was incomplete, but everything was filled out. I hadn't missed anything. So then I went on, I did something else. I got a different error message, and the different error message said the NIC number was supposed to be like 12 characters long. I was like, what is NIK? What is a NIC number? I don't have a NIC number. But it turns out that even though I put in my passport number, because it asks you for either your passport or your NIC, which is the local Indonesian ID number, you can choose which one you're using. I chose passport, of course, put in my passport number. That was part of my profile. But when the system bought my ticket for me, it put in my passport number as a NIC. So in the ticket buying process, my passport number looked incomplete because there weren't enough numbers. So in the ticket buying process, I had to change NIC to passport. Like in my profile, it was accurate, everything was right, but the system itself made a mistake, took my passport number, and then put it in as a NIC. So then I had to change it to passport number, and then I did it. By this point, I'd invested so much time. I was there, I'd drunk my whole cup of coffee. I figured, hey, I've come this far, I might as well buy a ticket. It only costs 27,000 rupiah, and I figured my seat on the train was a window seat, and the seat beside me was still available. So I thought, well, just for fun, you know, learning the whole process, why don't I buy both seats? I already bought my seat, 16E, the window seat, and this time I chose 16D right beside me. And that's the seat that I chose. And I booked it, and I said I'm gonna pay for it at Indomaret. So now I'm going back to Indomaret, and I'm gonna buy the second seat, go back to the train station and get a second ticket. But I'm kind of doing this for fun. I just want to try out using the app from beginning to end. But I don't mind having both seats, you know. These trains usually don't have any luggage space, and I'll put my backpack in the seat beside me, and I'll have both seats, and I don't have to worry about a 600-pound person, you know, sitting beside me. So I'm going back to the same Indomaret. I have 1 hour. It's on a timer. You know, I have to pay for it, or my reservation will be canceled. Yeah, I've got my train ticket reservation here. I have 41 minutes left before it gets canceled. So let's go pay for this one.
Bun. Kapnya. Sini dulu bentar. Aduh, 7.000. Nah, jadilah udah ada Anes.
It's just a ticket, train ticket. All right. I paid for my ticket at Indomal, and I'm just going to go back to customer service. I want to confuse this woman even more than I've already confused her. Like, why are you buying a second ticket? And I'll tell her, well, I just wanted the fun of figuring out how to use your app. So we'll see what she thinks of that. I've come back. I wanted to use the app, you know, to test it. So you downloaded it, I opened it, created an account, and then I bought another ticket.
Oh yeah?
Just because I wanted to try it, like how does it work? So I have another ticket.
So you did it?
Yep.
You already bought the ticket?
Yep. It's the one beside me. So now I have both seats. Yeah, it was a little bit complicated because the app is not in English, right? It's only Indonesian.
Actually, you can change the language.
You can? Oh, I looked, but I didn't figure it out. Huh. That was my mistake, I guess. But I couldn't find English anywhere.
Okay. From here. This is bahasa, that is language.
Oh, you have to turn that off.
You can change to the English.
I see. I should have done that. It would have been easier.
Okay, this is your ticket. So, is there anything that I can help you, sir?
That's it.
Okay.
Just wanted to print it out.
Okay.
So, but you said with the app, you don't have to print it out.
Yeah.
You can use a boarding pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time.
Yeah. Is it clear?
Yep. Yep. When you see your friends later, you can tell them a story about the funny foreigner. Everything I did.
I will come with my friends.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dear passengers, good afternoon and welcome to all. So we will train passengers in arrive at Medan station. We have arrived at Medan station. Please check your luggage and belongings.
That beeping sound in there, that is crazy. I don't think it must be for the time, but it goes on for so long. I was trying to talk with the woman at customer service. I can't even hear myself think, it's so loud, and it just goes on and on and on. I don't know why, but yeah, you can't really hear anything or talk to anybody when that's going on. Still going. Anyway, turns out that whole story about needing two phones to use Google Translate, it was all unnecessary because, as the woman told me, they do have an English version of the menu, of the app. But I couldn't find it. I went all over the settings, you know, like looking for like change from Bahasa to English, change. I couldn't find it anywhere. I didn't find a menu of settings. I couldn't find anything at all. So I just gave up. I just assumed there wasn't such a thing. But then she showed me how you actually have to go into your account, not into settings or anything like that. There's a button there called account, you know, your account, I guess. So I went into account, and then down at the bottom where it says Bahasa, if you turn Indonesian, like Bahasa Indonesia, you turn Indonesian off, it automatically switches to English. So like on the front page, there's no, you know, change language button. But if you go into account and you turn off Indonesian, it automatically turns on English. So anyway, it does have English. So all the hassle I went through was unnecessary. But she was suitably confused about what I was doing. You know, because I'd come back, it was the same woman. You know, she just naturally assumed there was a problem with my original ticket and that I wanted to change it or get a refund or do something. And then I did my best to tell her that, you know, on the world of Planet Doug, in my brain, it makes sense to buy a second ticket just for the experience of using the app and figuring it out. Of course, if the ticket costs $58, then I wouldn't do it. But, you know, for $1.50, it was sort of for $1.50 and getting 2 seats side by side, I figured that was a good benefit too. So anyway, that's what I told her. And she explained to me that now that I have the app on my phone, and I went through the whole process of setting up an account, and then you can download a boarding pass. So if I buy the ticket, then I go to Indomaret to pay for the ticket, then I don't have to go to the train station. They don't have to print out a ticket. I can use a boarding pass that's on my phone through the app. So pretty much all of the, oh, just jalan-jalan. No, thank you. No. Yeah, when you walk around, everybody wants, you know, paycheck drivers, they stop, they want to drive you, you know, and I always have to explain, no, I'm okay, I'm just walking. But anyway, what I was going to conclude with is that everything I was talking about, all of the problems with the system, it turns out that assuming you get up to speed with the technology and you download the app and open up an account, all of those problems go away. So I was saying that it's weird that you have to book online and then you still have to go to the train station to get your ticket. That's not logical, but it turns out if you have a full account, then you can buy the ticket and just use your phone. You don't actually have to go to the train station. So that removes one of the flaws that I saw in the system. The train is coming. The one that was loading up just now. I heard from the street up ahead, the gates came down, the siren or the signal is going off, and I heard the train horn behind me. I don't see it yet, but it's on its way. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Video. But this is video. It's no train. It's just the locomotive at the front. But all the traffic still has to stop, creating this log jam up there of cars and motorcycles. Funny thing is, I was so sick here in Medan for a while. I got really sick. A bit of behind the scenes info, my memory card filled up right there. So I had to stop, change the memory card, change all the batteries again. That happens quite often as you're walking around with a GoPro. It always happens at the worst possible time. You know, changing out your GoPro gear at the side of one of these busy roads. It can be pretty crazy. Anyway, good to go. And I was just saying that The time that I got really sick, of course, I was trying to figure out what meal, what drink, what did I... Hello, how are you? What did I eat or drink that made me sick? And my best guess was that it was a sugar cane juice stall right on that corner where the train is, you know, where the train tracks cross the road and causes that big problem there. There's sugarcane juice there, and it was quite dirty when I went there that day. And I suspected that was the drink that made me sick, but who knows? Could have been anything, really. So I'm just about back in my own neighborhood again, though to be honest, the train station is pretty much in my neighborhood as well. It's all within walking distance for me. Whoop. Yeah, there's some very challenging walking conditions here. The other logistical issue with all of this that I'm doing, you know, taking the train to Tanjung Balai, then taking the ferry to Port Dickson. Another issue, well, it's not an issue, something you have to do is find a place to stay in Tanjung Balai. And then I was looking into hotels there, and I ran into the problem that I've encountered all over Sumatra, is that pretty much all of the low-budget hotels in Tanjung Balai are OYO hotels. They're OYO branded hotels, and they're low-budget hotels at a good price. But if you go into the reviews for those hotels, they're all like one-star reviews, because all of these OYO hotels, they won't honor your online bookings. So if you want to stay at that hotel and you book the room through Agoda or Traveloka or any of these online platforms, you show up at that hotel with your reservation, they won't give you a room. They won't honor any online bookings, and they just tell you, well, you're out of luck. You have to get a refund from whatever platform you used. And it ends up being a big problem for so many people. So of course they're upset, and they lambaste them in the reviews. So the only way you can really stay at these hotels is to show up in person and pay in cash when you show up. If you have an Agoda booking, they won't take it. So yeah, it astonishes me that a company as big as OYO can have such a major problem in a big part of the world like Sumatra. And it just goes on and on and on for years, basically, and it never gets fixed. And when you get one of these hotels that has so many negative reviews, you wonder how do they stay in business? I mean, I'm not going to stay at any of those OYO hotels. I refuse to book at an OYO hotel. They're just too much trouble. You never know whether you have a reservation or not, and you just end up losing your money, and you have to pay a second time. But anyway, I haven't booked a place to stay yet in Tanjung Balai. I've been to Tanjung Balai before, and I stayed kind of long term at a really cheap hotel called Asahan, and it's not on Agoda. It doesn't have online booking. I may end up just walking from the train station to Asahan Hotel, and then seeing if I can just get a room if I show up in person. We'll see. So there you have it. I think this is a good place to end this video, nearly back at my hotel. You know, hey, I was like 200% successful in a way. I went out intending to book. All I wanted to do was get one train ticket, and now I have 2 train tickets. So I was twice as successful as I expected to be. So noisy here. I'm like shouting, and then my throat is getting tired just speaking so loud. I probably don't need to speak this loud, but you feel like you have to because of the noise level. Crazy. At least I beat the rain. There's definitely rain on its way. Rainstorms moving in, but it's still dry. Here we are. One of my favorite things. One of these mobile flat tire repair centers. I think they're so cool. All right, a couple more streets to navigate, a couple more traffic jams to wind my way through, and that'll be it. So those are my small adventures for this morning. Check that out. So this is the street that I went down this morning. The one I said is normally really busy. This is what it normally is like. A constant flow of vehicles coming around this corner and merging with this traffic. So yeah, this is the street that I went down this morning to go to the train station. You can see a lot of cars and motorcycles. All right, I think that's the got one more intersection to get across, but I think I'll survive. All right, here I am at the end of this morning's small adventures, spilling over into the afternoon by now. I'm at like a convenience store, and I just stopped off here to buy some milk, cold milk. It just got me thinking though, because here at the convenience stores, I always pay with an app as well. You know, when I first came here to Sumatra, I downloaded the OVO e-wallet, and that's what I use for a lot of my transactions here. And I don't really like it, to be honest. It's a really inefficient e-wallet. The way it works is way too complicated. It's actually slower than paying with cash. And I found out that there's a real risk with it if you think about human behavior, because the way to use this app, you have to call up a screen on my phone, and then I give my phone to the clerk, and then she has some kind of a machine back there, and then she holds onto my phone and puts it up to the scanner and everything. So there's a very real possibility of walking out without your phone. And you kind of have to balance that against, you know, the convenience of using an e-wallet. You use the e-wallet 100 times and it's really convenient, but what about that one time you lose your phone because you left it behind in the store? And that's a real problem. Like with a touch and go in Malaysia, I never let go of my phone, right? I hold on to my phone the whole time. I scan their QR code, or I hold the phone and they scan my phone. I never give the phone to them, so there's no risk of, boy, the noise here is just unbelievable. There's more construction going on over there, some sort of a jackhammer. Crazy amount of noise. But anyway, I just started thinking about all these apps that is such a huge time investment installing them, like downloading them, setting up the account, putting money on them, learning how to use them. And it makes sense if you live here, because you only have to do it once. You know, if I lived in Sumatra, I have to download these apps one time, like the train app, set it up, and I'm done for the rest of my life. But if you're a visitor, we've reached the point in the modern world that when you go to a new country, you invest a lot of time downloading all the apps and systems, SIM card, etc., for that country, and you only use them for the time that you're there, and then you go on to the next country, and it's like you're investing just as much time as if you're going to live there for the rest of your life, but you're only doing it for a short holiday. Just an interesting part of the modern world. So anyway, that's it. This whole experience got me rambling a lot about this topic this morning. So here at the Alpha Mart, I'm going to shut down, head back to my hotel, get out of this crazy noise, and see you in the next video.